Oh my gosh, Mark, are you pregnant?
Pregnant? Hell no! I'm prepping for the Mr. Olympia! Boom! Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click on the link in the description box below to sign up for the Tiger Fitness newsletter. Within a week of publishing this video, we will give out a $50 gift card to tigerfitness.com to one lucky person who does all of these steps. Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com, CEO, MTS Nutrition. This video isn't going to be your normal, oh my goodness, Phil Heath won, I think Ramy got robbed, this and that, that and this. It's not going to be a critique of the show, but more or less explaining why it is Phil Heath brought his 7th Sandow to his home state of Colorado. The title of this video, or what this video is why Phil Heath won and why people seem to not want him to win. Now, before we even get started on this, I want to state for the record, because this will be called out, even though this has nothing to do with the video, because I'll tell you when Phil's off or he's on. Was he on? No, he wasn't on. He was still good enough to win it, in my opinion. I will explain why. But I will state for the record, I am friends with Phil Heath. Not like friends or we talk every day, but when we see each other, we say hi, we say what's up. Saw each other in the UK a year ago. We chatted for, a while, probably a half hour or so. I mean, Phil's my boy. We've done many videos together. We correspond on social media. Like, Phil and I get along. I have no idea who Big Ramy is. I don't hang out with him. I've never met him. No, I don't know if he's a great guy, or from all accounts of people who've met him, he's a great guy. So I'm just going to get that potential bias out of the way, but I will state that I don't think I'm being biased. Now, I get sick and fucking tired of hearing these internet fucking experts on bodybuilding and on judging who, number one, have never judged a bodybuilding show. I've judged over 50. And number two, have never even stepped on fucking stage. And number three, have never even gone to a fucking show. Because photos mean jack shit. A photo can be taken. The difference between me hitting a shot like this and locking in and hitting a side chest is night and day. Night and day. So when you compare a photograph, you're just taking that moment in time when someone isn't necessarily at their peak contraction or the pinnacle of the pose, could be in an awkward phase of a transition, and it's just weird. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's there, but I am saying I have seen different shots from the Olympia where people look better in the exact same pose based on when in time. Now, realize the judges are there. They're not relying on, for example, you can't tell graininess, you can't tell a lot of the 3D. For example, Phil Heath, when you see him in person, like I've used this before, when I see Kai Green in person, it's amazing. The guy's just slabs of muscle on slabs of muscle. Phil Heath, on the other hand, his muscle has this 3D look that you truly have to see in person to appreciate. So the fact of the matter is, even myself, since I didn't go to the Olympia this year, instead I went and I helped out with hurricane victims from Harvey in Houston, Hurricane Harvey in Houston. I didn't go. I opted to do that instead. So I am guilty as well of looking at pictures, but I also want to kind of see another point of view. Now, all you hear online is these armchair fucking quarterbacks who've never competed and never actually judged a bodybuilding show. There was a show I judged a few years ago where an IFBB, a guy turned pro at an IFBB NPC show, the Nationals, or the NPC Universe, the NPC Universe. So he turned pro there, so he was an IFBB guy, and he got like 4th place at a natural show. And people saw the pictures like, oh, you guys are stupid, this and that, this and that. Bottom line is, he came in out of shape, and you couldn't tell in the pictures that when he hit a pose and he stomped his foot that his belly jiggled. I mean, there's certain things you can't tell from pictures. But I'm gonna just go back to some brief history, and I'm gonna tell you that this is not new. Anytime there's an incumbent Olympia, people will want them to lose. Whether it's a cocky, arrogant guy, perceived cocky and arrogant, I just think Phil likes talking shit, like Phil Heath, or the nicest guy ever, Ronnie Coleman. If you guys are old enough to have been around when Ronnie versus Jay, Ronnie was literally hated by so many people. Jay needs to unseat Ronnie. Ronnie doesn't deserve the title. And now we look back and you don't hear anything about the animosity or the hatred shown towards Ronnie when he was wiping the floor with everybody. Ronnie versus Jay was much more combative, and people were much more against Ronnie winning than they are Phil Heath versus Big Ramy, which is only 1 year in the making. People love to see the underdog win. They love to see the incumbent lose. And I think Phil Heath adds a little element to that, because Phil is a tell it like it is kind of guy. Phil is a very matter-of-fact type guy. If you talk shit to Phil on Twitter, he will talk shit back to you. That's the West Coast of my man Phil. That's what he does. So he can be perceived as cocky. As someone who spent time with Phil, I could say he's not cocky, he's confident. And to be a 7-time Mr. Olympia, which he is, he needs to be confident. So let's look at the show in general. And here's why I think Phil actually won based on the pictures I've seen. Again, I was not there, and even if I was there, if you are not sitting at the judges' table, you have no idea what you're talking about. Ramy was bigger. Ramy had more impressive body parts. In fact, I think in some poses, Ramy made Phil look like a child. Phil had a better overall aesthetic look. And I believe based on the pictures I saw, and I got some flack when I said this on the gram, that Ramy was soft from the back. I think that Phil's back had much more definition, much more muscularity, much more muscle definition. I thought Ramy's back was smooth. And you got to look at the back as being about 20 to 30% of the body. I think Phil held his own on the bicep shots. Triceps, I think that's where Phil won. Ramy had really big legs, but I think that, and his legs just killed him from the side. Side chest, Ramy killed Phil. That shot Ramy had all day long. But I think when you really went to the nitty gritty, Phil did have more definition on the shots that I saw. Again, this is all pictorial, than Ramy did. Now, the main reason people are saying that Phil lost is his gut. I personally didn't think his gut was out of control. I feel that in one ab and thigh shot, he looked watery, he looked bloated. I also thought that on some shots, they looked fantastic. Any of those guys on the stage, if they're relaxed, if they're hitting a shot, if they're not tightening their gut, let's be real here. Their carb up is literally probably like 3,000 fucking grams of carbs a day. Okay, there's gonna be some bloat. It is what it is. The food has to go somewhere. All right, any guy up there from Dexter Jackson to Big Ramy to Sean Roden is going to have a little bit of distension when they're not hitting a pose and controlling that midsection. I dare you to do the same thing. If you're lean, go and eat Thanksgiving dinner. Afterwards, take a picture. They pretty much have to carb up with the equivalent of fucking Thanksgiving dinner. I didn't see Phil's gut as an issue. I did think he was a bit soft in the midsection, but I didn't see distension as much as I just saw a guy who ate a lot of food to fill out. And I don't know if Hani peaked him wrong. I don't know if it's the insulin. I don't know what it is. And I'm not even insinuating that anybody's on insulin or anything. I don't even want this video to be about that. But the bottom line is you guys have to realize that this isn't the first time that everybody has rooted for the underdog. It happened with Ronnie versus Jay. It happened long before that. It happened in pretty much every reigning Olympia's title bouts, title runs, since the beginning of the Mr. Olympia contest. So we just need to realize that this contest, when you're the incumbent, it's really hard. You have to really fuck up to lose. I think Phil did just enough to ensure that he did fair and square beat Big Ramy and everyone else in that lineup. Was Phil at his best? I don't think he was at his worst, but I think he wasn't at his best. No, I think Phil can do better. However, Phil was good enough to win, in my opinion, on that night. So that's my opinion. Again, I'm bringing a little bit different perspective as someone who's judged multiple shows in multiple organizations, as someone who's competed as a mediocre pro bodybuilder, and as someone who's also this Olympia, not even there in person, even though it wouldn't matter unless you're at the judges table, who is looking at pictures just like you. Let's talk, but let's just take off these goggles like, oh my God, it's this, it's that, it's the language barrier. Let's take all of that out of this and let's pretend there isn't politics, because we know there are politics, right? I don't think they played as much of a role in this as they have other Olympias, but then again, I'm looking at it the same way you're looking at it. Let's discuss. And also, if you want to read about the winners and how much they pocketed from this, click on the link down below. We have a Tiger Fitness article that addresses everything, announces Phil Heath's victory, and also goes on to say how much money they each brought home. Let's discuss, comment section below. Be sure to click on that link, go to the article, let us know what you think. I'm Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com. Congrats to Phil. Number 7. You're almost there, brother. That's not a game.